Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. Your hosts here, Zahab and Rachel Wolfson. Folks, we are back, and last week, Rachel and I prayed to the gods to see some green on the board. They listened. I'm a happy man. She's a happy woman. We are pumped. Rachel, great to have you on again. And how nice is it to have a week of green once again?
Thanks, Matt. It's so nice to see green across the board, to see the prices of crypto up. And this has just been a great week, I think. And I'm excited to talk about it with you.
It has. It's been a great week. We're sort of back. I don't want to say we're sort of back. There's still a lot of geopolitical turmoil, still a lot of macro stuff that is no bueno, but we are looking good and things are promising, folks. As always, we're going to start with some price action. Bitcoin is up 7.5%. Actually, the whole board is pretty much up 7.5%, but Bitcoin's up 7.5% to 85K per Bitcoin. Ethereum, a W week, getting a little dub in the chat for the first time in a while. Ethereum's up 7% to 1.6K per ETH. XRP is up 7% to $2.08. BNB is up 3% to just under $600 per BNB. And Salami, also known as Solana, the big gainer of the week, up 23 whopping percent back to $1.35 per coin. Some wild stuff. And Rachel, another week in crypto, another massive rug pull. This time it was Mantra token.
Yeah, Matt, let's talk about it. So the native token of the Mantra blockchain project has plunged more than 90% in a single day, raising fresh concerns over the stability of real-world asset tokenization platforms. On April 13th, the price of Mantra's native cryptocurrency, dropped from around $6.30 to below 50 cents. The sharp fall erased over $6 billion from its market capitalization in less than 24 hours. Mantra denied inside trading claims, blaming the crash on reckless liquidations and insisting its core fundamentals are actually intact. Let's hope this is not the next FTX or Terra Luna. This is crazy stuff, and I think this is probably the craziest news of the week.
Yes, maybe even up there for craziest news of the year. Wild stuff. Unfortunately, we're going to keep continuing with the no bueno news train. Digital asset investment products, also known as ETFs and ETPs, experienced another tough week, recording a $795 million outflow. And that was the third consecutive week of declines. This is mostly due to the pressure from the recent tariff-related developments as they continue to dampen investor confidence. Since early Feb, Rachel, and this stat is bananas, the outflows have now totaled $7.2 billion, nearly wiping out all of 2024's year-to-date gains. Pretty wild stuff, and hopefully that changes soon. Speaking of change, first time I've seen this, and there's always some wild stuff, some new business ideas coming out in the crypto space. We have a new startup that raised a fresh 40 mil to pay out life insurance in Bitcoin.
This is actually very interesting, Matt. So crypto startup, meanwhile, closed a $40 million Series A to scale its Bitcoin-denominated life insurance project. The raise was led by Framework Ventures and Fulgur Ventures, with participation from Wences Casares, the founder of crypto bank Exapo, according to the company's tweet. Hope I pronounced all those names correctly. Forgive me if I didn't. This life insurance is similar to a typical one. The policyholder pays a monthly premium, but they pay in Bitcoin from the crypto wallet, not in funds from a bank. The family receives the Bitcoin once the policyholder passes away. At the same time, Meanwhile, which is the name of the company, generates revenue by lending out clients' Bitcoin to large financial institutions, including crypto exchanges and market makers, for up to 2 years. It expects to see a 3% return on those loans to pay out clients and fund expenses. This is such an interesting concept, and this is probably the news that I am just most excited about for this week, Matt.
Yeah, very well said there, Rachel. More crazy stuff this week. I mean, just another week at the office, but crypto exchanges, and not small ones, the big dogs themselves, Binance and KuCoin, to name a couple, were crazily impacted by an AWS, Amazon Web Services, outage. This happened a couple of days ago on April 15th, which literally caused widespread technical difficulties across the major crypto exchanges, Binance, KuCoin, Mexi, the biggest ones in the space. This was described as a large-scale network interruption, which of course always affects the users. Everyone stopped allowing withdrawals, and this was just an absolute nightmare. Centralized platforms under scrutiny once again, as they are so reliant on other centralized platforms and players like Amazon, and more particular their cloud provider AWS. Pretty wild stuff there. Moving forward, Rachel, Canada, my beautiful country, is leading the crypto space in one thing, and that is getting products out very, very quickly. And we've done it again with the first ever Solana ETF.
Yeah, Matt, I was going to say, if you want to take this one, feel free because you are the Canadian here. So why don't you go ahead and let us know what's going on here?
You got it. As always, folks, Rachel and I are recording on the 17th. Today is Thursday, the 17th of April. You will be watching this on Friday, the 18th. Yesterday, on Wednesday, we had our first ever Solana ETF, and this was the OSC, which approved 4 issuers: Purpose, Evolve, CI, and 3IQ. Massive news here. According to a circular shared by Toronto Dominion Bank, each fund will hold physical Solana, of course, and allows staking, which is huge, which is a mechanism that lets investors earn rewards by participating in the blockchain's consensus process. So pretty crazy news there. I guess I might as well keep the train rolling here. Sol Strategies, a huge company in Canada as well. The leader, the MicroStrategy of Solana, except a little bit better than MicroStrategy as they do staking as well. They just partnered with Pudgy, Penguin's probably the most famous NFT brand, maybe second to Bored Ape Yacht Club, and PENGU launched their own validator on the Solana network via Sol Strategies. This is just a huge partnership. Great work from both teams there and some huge news. And Rachel, we just talked about Canada. Time to throw the ball back over to your court as the American, the Trump family, back at it again. And they're launching a blockchain real estate game inspired by Monopoly Go.
Yeah, Matt, this is a great story. So, according to an April 15th report from Fortune, sources familiar with the project said the Trump family is preparing to enter the blockchain gaming space with a new real estate themed game inspired by Monopoly Go. The crypto-based game, which is expected to launch later this month, represents the latest addition to a growing suite of digital asset ventures tied to former U.S. President Donald Trump and his inner circle. The game is currently in development. It's being spearheaded by longtime Trump associate Bill Zanker, and it's expected to debut later this month. I can't wait to check this out.
Monopoly Go is an elite game, I will say. Great game to play with friends and family, and it's way better than regular Monopoly. Maybe not better, but it goes by much quicker. Moving forward in the great USA, OKX relaunches in the US after a $505 million DOJ settlement and unveils their very bold super app strategy. Again, this is super weird news, Rachel, because they got fined for 500 mil and then they come right back at it and go for a springboard, a rebrand, and a regulation aligned identity. They're also embedding itself in the tech capital of San Jose to emphasize innovation and legitimacy. And this upcoming super app in bunny ears, as I quote, will perhaps even rival Coinbase. At least that's what they are gunning for. Speaking of big exchanges, Raydium fires back with LaunchLab as the $2.5 billion decentralized exchange war with Pump.fun literally explodes on Solana.
Yeah, Matt. So Raydium's LaunchLab intensifies the Solana DEX rivalry by directly challenging Pump.fun's Pump Swap. The platform's permissionless, fast, and customizable launch process seeks to attract creators and developers seeking seamless on-chain token creation and immediate trading. Raydium's move to launch LaunchLab is part of a broader industry shift towards decentralization, innovation, and fierce competition. I actually really like to see this, and I'm excited to see what comes out from this.
Yeah, well said there. Coinbase, crazy stuff. This happened last night on Wednesday. I don't know if you saw this, Rachel, but Coinbase is a layer 2 network, also known as Base, intended to spark a cultural wave, but instead ignited controversy and outrage after what many perceived as an official endorsement of a meme coin that went array. It all began with a seemingly innocent tweet from Base's official X account, which I do believe has like 500,000 followers. And that said Base is for everyone. Shortly after, a follow-up post stating Coined It included a link to a token minted on Zora, which is a new platform that used to do NFTs and now does tokens themselves, making the post itself tradable as a coin. What followed? Classic meme coin land. The token's market cap skyrocketed to $17 million and then crashed 94%, putting up a huge red wick on the chart in minutes. The Base team is under scrutiny and shit, same as the Coinbase team as well. When will we ever learn? Probably never, and this is why we have trouble gaining mass adoption. But c'est la vie. Rachel, you wrote an incredible article at the end of last week and early this week, and this was on the Bitcoin miners and how they are getting ready for the disruptions due to the Trump China tariffs.
Yeah, Matt, I think that this is a really interesting topic that we definitely need to explore. So, the United States became a global leader in Bitcoin mining following China's 2021 crackdown on the crypto industry. But the tables seem to be turning now because Bitcoin mining machines are now facing steep tariffs of up to 36% under a new Trump administration trade policy. Although the implementation has been temporarily paused for 90 days, currently a general 10% tariff remains in effect. However, I did speak with Jamie McCavity. He is the CEO of Cormant Data Systems, which is a US-based mining company. He told me that Cormant sources components from China, including miners, transformers, and all of that good stuff, will contribute to higher build-out costs. He basically says miners that manufactured in China are now completely uneconomical to import to the USA. McCavity further stated that U.S. firms that ordered equipment from China but have not yet to take delivery will likely sell them in the Chinese market. So basically, Jamie said this will contribute to weaker demand and lower prices, creating an attractive investment opportunity for non-U.S. based miners. We've got to see how this plays out. If the global hash rate in the US, I mean, it's already going down and we're seeing a lot more miners move out of the United States. So looking forward to see how this plays out. Hopefully things become better for the miners in the United States.
Well said. Rachel, always a blast doing this with you. Listeners, we hope you guys enjoyed this one. We prayed for some green last week and we got it hopefully a little bit more green. Again, we're not looking for a crazy rip or anything like that. We just want the crazy sequence and consecutive weeks of red to stop. If you guys enjoyed this one, we hope you did. Please do subscribe. It would mean the world to our whole team, including Rachel and myself. Hammer that like button. As always, guys, have a lovely weekend. We will see you on the next one. And thanks for tuning in. We love you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Matt. Bye, everyone. Thanks.